sweet like sugar wrapped in by day. And I don't mind your company, but if you want to make me sing, keep in mind that I am not your mother.
There are different ways to ask for what you want. You can ask for what you want in sort of a simpering, oh, please give me what I want kind of way. Or you can ask for what you want with backbone in a brave way, and the latter usually works better.
I wanna see your backbone. Every time you talk to me, there's worry in your eyes. I wonder, what on earth could you be so afraid of?
I grew up in Luray, Virginia, which is a very small town sort of in the middle of the state. And then when I was 16, I moved away from home to the West Coast, moved to Eugene, Oregon. And then I sort of spent about a year just kind of bouncing around. I went to San Francisco for a few months. I spent a few months in Stockholm, Sweden, actually. And then I landed in Philadelphia. That was about 6 years ago now. Idiot Heart is the title track of the new album, and I started that song in New Orleans, and one of the things that inspired it musically was sort of the rhythm of New Orleans, which has a little flavor of Zydeco. Most of the jazz down there doesn't use the same rhythms that you think of for jazz. It uses more of a Zydeco or a Latin rhythm, which I really enjoy, so I stole a little bit of that for that song. And the idea for the lyrical aspect of it came to me when I had a vision of my heart walking around outside my body, and my first thought about him was, he's just not very bright. He's sort of like Mr. Magoo. He just walks around, stumbles and bumping into things. But you have to feel for him, he's a good little guy.
Oh, you're a sad sack, subtle as a heart attack. Hey, heart, when you gonna let me be?
It's about following your heart, even if your heart is telling you to do things that aren't really great ideas. It's kind of following your heart in spite of the consequences. And I was writing the songs in New Orleans, which to me really expresses that same approach to life, that it's about really doing something. It's about pleasure and joy and celebration in the face of darkness and death. So I wrote a lot of songs that were themed with that juxtaposition. And what I really felt like would frame those songs best was a great, small band. So the band that ended up playing on the record was more or less the Wood Brothers band. So the record has a feeling of this very organic musical experience.
I guess I really should have known. You gave me nothing but
I met Oliver and his brother Chris, who at the time were the whole Wood Brothers band, just the two of them, 4 years ago, I think, backstage at somebody else's show. They were very sweet, and I told them I was a big fan, and I ended up asking them if I could open for them at a show in Hoboken, New Jersey. That was later that month, and they said yes. And a little while later I called and asked Oliver if I could tour with them, and to my shock, he said that I could.
This is Smoke Alarm, take 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. He said, baby, what's the big deal? Feel what you wanna feel. Say what you wanna say. You're gonna die one day. For example, I could kiss you.
I get my inspiration for songwriting mostly from other songs. So I'm first a music fan and second a musician and songwriter. So I think for me, the way to stay inspired in my job is to follow the good music.
Your body is an animal, doesn't ask for much.
And there's also a lot of talent here. And I've noticed in Philly more than other cities, there's a real attitude of hard work. Like, I think the musicians consider themselves that this is their job rather than, I'm trying to get famous and that's what I'm doing here. So there's a lot of good work ethic in the Philadelphia music scene, and I really appreciate that. So I got to open for Paul Simon last fall, a few shows on his So Beautiful or So What tour, and talk about a dream come true. That was really fantastic. in a lot of ways, but especially just, he's of course one of my favorite songwriters, one of many people's favorite songwriters. And it was a real honor to share the stage with him, and I got to meet his whole band, and I got to meet him and talk to him a little bit. It was a dream come true.
So baby, what's a big deal? If you wanna be free, say what you wanna feel and spend the night with me. I'm gonna take you up in my arms, and if we must go down, we'll go singing to the smoke alarms. We'll dance into the ground.